Hi guys, welcome back to Crime Stories Obsessed. Hey ho, this is Emma, and we have Amy tonight, and we have Kat.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So how is everybody tonight? I've seen a few comments in the comment section. We've got quite a lot to get through tonight. A few things we're going to go over from before. We also have a little bit of kind of new information.
Hot off the press.
Yeah, hot off the press. So there's lots for us to get through. We've got lots of screenshots to look at. Hi, Purple Knights. Hi, Chris.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. Hi, Annabelle. Yvonne is in the house.
Yvonne. Prolific. Hi. Purple Knights. Hi.
Kelly.
7 alibis is in the house. We've got 7 alibis.
But hey, Candace has none.
One. We've got 7 alibis.
But Amy has none.
She's going down.
That's okay.
No.
Oh God, I don't even know where to start, to be honest. So
say hi to everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
So
hello everyone.
I did reach out to God, we've got so much to get at, but I did reach out to somebody to ask a load of questions. It was somebody that has been interviewed before by Chris M, and I did ask some questions, and I asked if it was possible that they could answer these questions for me, and it was in relation to Candace, the relationship, where he was, just what Candace was like as a person, what she was like with the boys. I asked quite a lot of questions and I did get a reply. So we'll go through that later. But for now, we're going to have a look at what I have. So we've said hi to Amy. Amy's not been on before, but Kat was having some problems with her Wi-Fi. She still is, but hopefully she can stay. And we've got Amy here because she's got a great opinion. She's an intelligent lady. So we thought we'd, bring her on and she can thrash it out with us tonight.
Yep.
Give us her opinion.
We're always up for that, aren't we, Emma?
Yes. And we've got Candace. Candace is here. Hi, Candace. Candace Young, not Candace. I don't think she likes me, to be honest. I could never imagine why. I don't know.
No wonder.
But anyway, so we have seen various interviews recently. I think there's been loads. I mean, we've seen the Dudley interview, didn't we? And he was interviewed by Molly. He was interviewed by Sweetie Pilo. Sweetie Pilo. And we've heard recently in the last few days from H's dad. He's been on his own channel doing lives. If you haven't been across, his name is Andrew Hiltz, Hilts. I did ask him if he wanted to come on with us, but he was making dinner. It's a bit earlier over there than it is here. Currently, we are looking at 9:30 at night here, and I think it's kind of dinner time over there, isn't it? Dinner time, tea time, I don't know what you call it. We've also heard from various other people. I have done a bit of digging and I found somebody from the church, and it's a little bit of information. It's nothing bad about the church particularly, but it's just something that I found that I thought you might find interesting. I've also found out some new information that nobody's ever heard of before in relation to grandma, and it puts a whole new spin on what grandma is like as a person. So we heard from recently, it was the other day, from Andrew, and we call him Andrew. I've got Andy down here, but H's dad. And he was saying, if you haven't already seen it, that H is working through a lot of things at the minute. He's not doing brilliant, but he's working through a lot of things. He said that he speaks to him, in order to play like video games and talk about schooling. And he said from what he knows that day that Hunter did arrive home at 2:30, as Ali said, because there was an appointment. We don't know what this appointment was, but Hunter had an appointment at some point during that afternoon, and there are legal documents to support that he did attend that appointment. So we're not thinking that he did go back to the Wells property that afternoon. I mean, whether he did during the day or early, we don't know, but as far as we're aware, he didn't go back after that. And then he went to the park with his girlfriend. He said that the reason he wanted him moving away from the home at the beginning, do you remember when there was that guy was going to come down from New York and pick H up and take him back to his dad's, was because his dad was concerned due to somebody posting pictures of his front door on the internet, and so was scared for his safety.
Well, that's understandable.
Yeah, I would be, wouldn't you?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Amy? Would you?
Totally. And people keep saying that he's in juvie because of his probation. His dad has stated that's not true.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's
Yeah, because he was saying the other night, you know, he's not in juvenile protection. He's not in protective custody. So what are the other options? He's got therapists with him all the time. It leaves me to suggest that he may be in some kind of psychiatric place, maybe not, or he might just be with relatives. We're not sure. That wasn't said by his dad. His dad didn't really elaborate. Yeah, some kind of rehab, Kelly. That's what I'm thinking. But if he needs it, then that's the best place for him. But then that leads me to think, well, you know, what happened that day for him to need that? You know, what's gone on? And I don't think that he's involved in any of it in relation to Summer being injured or disappearing. But I do think that, you know, he was one of the last people to see her. He treated her like a sister, so we've been told. But, you know, could there be more reasons why he's needing this therapy than just that?
He's been treated like really badly, in my opinion, by the majority of people. I mean, the fact that Candace turned up at his house the day after he was questioned to ask, what did you tell the FBI or the TBI? What did you say to them? What have you said about us, etc.? I mean, that kind of thing is like so pressurizing. And imagine being a 15-year-old kid that was taken along for a ride on a day that a child went missing, being one of the key witnesses really in the case and having all of that pressure put on you. I mean, even if he didn't see anything, which is possible that he did, but even if he didn't see anything, then he's traumatized by the aftermath of what's happened, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Just everything, the fact that she's missing. Sorry, Amy, what were you going to say?
No, I said exactly. I mean, he's a child. He, you know, doesn't deserve all the hate that's being put out there. And I really believe he was used. And he needs our prayers on, as well as Summer. And all the adults need to be looked at.
Yeah. Even the accusations that have been made about you know, what I've always said ever since day one, the inappropriate thing with Candace, which I refuse to call a relationship because I just think that that's so disrespectful to people that have, you know, been groomed and been abused by adults. Even that kind of thing being talked about in public would be enough for some children to break, you know. If that did happen, if that has happened and he is a victim of that, then I mean, I wouldn't have wanted that story put out there and being discussed by people as if it was a consensual relationship. He's a child at the end of the day. She's an adult. So I think that's traumatizing too.
You mean, you think about it, like all the people around him, you know, his friends, people from school, all these people that know him, you know, if it's put out there on the internet that there's this possibility that he might have been with this, 39-year-old lady that isn't particularly attractive, is she, bless her. People are going to make fun. I remember being at school and having a boyfriend, and I was younger. Well, it wasn't my boyfriend, but he liked me, and he asked me if I'd be his girlfriend, and I kind of said yes. But then when his friends found out, he kind of just said, "Oh, I don't want to go out with you anymore." Same day, because he was embarrassed. Kids are like that though with each other, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's sad.
Well, yeah. And I mean, a fully grown-ass woman apparently, allegedly soliciting images from a 15-year-old child. I mean, even a 15-year-old man soliciting from a 15-year-old child, it's beyond inappropriate. It's abusive, and it's it's just not okay. So a lot of people, victims, feel shame about those kind of things. And if it's being talked about in public, there's a good possibility that he's, completely not ready to go there. It's just traumatizing for kids.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree. And
that's without what he could have seen on that day, if he saw anything. He's just been dragged into something that he's not equipped emotionally or maturely to deal with. I feel really sorry for him. I really do. And I know there's people that don't agree with me, and that's perfectly fine. My opinion is, I think that if anything was going on between him and Candace, it wasn't as consensual. It can't be, because he was below the age of majority, below the age of consent. So my personal opinion is that whatever he saw on that day and whatever happened on that day, the aftermath has been enough to traumatize him without whatever happened on that day happening.
Yeah, I've just seen a comment which is actually really interesting. Vet Girl says H has pending charges, and I did hear something about that. For something else, she said, and I think once this is solved, or once he's out of wherever he is, he may talk for immunity. I mean, we don't know what that charge is, and to be honest, I'm not really bothered, but that would be a good way of getting somebody to talk if they are literally at their wits' end with this case and struggling to get anybody to come forward with information that's actually something useful that they could take to the DA, So I was on this his dad's channel the other night, and I asked him the question, do you think that there was a chance that there was something going on? Because I mean, I'd asked Jenna, and Jenna had said, and I mean, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't believe Jenna, but I mean, who knows? We're just going on. We don't know who's telling the truth and who's not. I mean, she seems credible enough to me, but anyway. And she said that they weren't in a relationship, but they were hooking up, and that was something that Candace had told her personally. Then that came out on the show. Andrew, the dad of H, said last night, or was it the night before, he said he does not like the H and Candace situation. He said, in his own words, shit don't look great.
No shit, Sherlock.
Yeah, basically saying that he thinks that there was something going on, so that's not brilliant, is it?
Do you think he would have approached that subject with H?
I think he would, but what he was saying when he was on the live was, I'm not going to ask him. I'm waiting for him to come to me. I don't like to be one of those like kind of pushy parents. If when he wants to speak, he will come to me. He's open with me. So when he's ready, we'll talk.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, what happened?
I get that. I can see where that's coming from, because it is a high slinks, Lena. I can see that it is a contentious issue, and also I've had my own experience of abuse in my childhood, and I don't want to go into that, but no one kind of like picked up on that at the point and came asked me about it or anything else. It had to take for me to be ready to actually talk about it. So, I get where he's coming from. He doesn't want to like push the issue with his son.
Exactly.
It's difficult.
What do you think, Amy?
I think so, because he probably doesn't even see it as wrong.
Yeah.
with Candace too, though,
Mm.
in his eyes. And then if he did see something, he's probably blocking a lot of it out,
Yeah.
and he needs to be ready to talk, or he's being threatened.
Mm-hmm. That's a
So
possibility.
you
Yeah.
don't know if Candace did come the days afterwards, what she said to him. And
Yeah.
he needs to come in
Right.
his own time. If you badger a kid, they might not even be saying the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where the counselors come in. They're going to
Mm-hmm.
be able to get it out the right way. You
Yeah.
pray that he has a good counselor.
Oh, yeah, I hope so.
Mm.
I mean, the fact that he's in therapy is brilliant.
Yeah.
That's really good to hear, you know, because obviously, like, I think all of the kids involved in this situation need therapy. I'm hoping as well that the Candace and Don's boys that have been taken into care, I hope that they're receiving decent therapy as well, because it's got to be
Yeah.
really traumatizing for the kids.
And think about them. Their parents are the only thing they've known. They don't know that they were actually in a bad situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And his dad was saying, you know, at the minute he is seeking the help that he needs for the situation with Summer, was what he said. I mean, I know losing somebody, being there and losing somebody that you cared for, that has been around for years, must be, you know, upsetting. Oh, Andrew's here.
Hi, Andrew. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Andrew. He
If you
said
want
he's
to,
not
come up
been.
on panel.
Yeah, you can
Oh,
come up if you
Andrew,
want.
I wasn't saying he was threatened. I said we don't know what Candace said the day if she did come over.
Yeah,
That's
we
what
know.
I said.
Yeah, we know he's not in custody either.
We've said he's not in custody.
Yeah.
So what else have we got here?
Andrew, if you want the link, just let us know. We'll pop the link in the chat if you'd like to come up and chat with us on panel.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
definitely.
never said
You're welcome.
that. Yeah. We're talking very polite about him and not sending out false information.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, we care about H.
What else have I got here? So as we were saying, he's not in juvenile, he's not in protective custody. His dad has said that, and he's seeking the help that he needs.
Correct.
Where are we now? So moving on to Dudley. Dudley was interviewed by Sweetie Pilo. She interviewed him and did like an hour interview. It was really good. And then I think also he was interviewed by Molly. Now he just wants a normal life. Andrew says, I'm just here to listen. We're pleased
You're
you're
very
here.
welcome to listen. Yeah, we're pleased you're here.
Yes.
So he just wants a normal life, does Dudley. He's like really fed up of his name being dragged through the mud for things that he's not done by Don, because right from the very beginning, Don was adamant that that this Dudley was possibly the one that took Summer, and you know, he got rid of him from work, so that was a reason why he might have taken her. And it was just like, this poor guy, this Dudley's like, what? And he didn't come forward up until now, because I think he's just been like, oh God, just leave me out of it. But he wanted to clear his name, and I mean, I would as well, wouldn't you guys? Like,
yeah.
if you had somebody basically saying that you could have taken their child, and you know what Don's like. I mean, he's literally put it out there that everybody's taken his child. I mean, he even said CM, Chris McDonough had taken his child at one point, didn't he, or something?
Joe Biden.
My God.
Joe Biden. If Donald Trump had been in office, then she never would have got on. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
My thoughts about this. I don't know if I've said this before or not. I can't remember. I struggle to remember what I've said before. But my thoughts about it is that if this was a planned thing with Summer to get gone, then then
Mhm.
Dudley being fired the day before Summer got gone is very convenient, because if they had planned it and they had planned who they were going to try to pin the blame on, he was the first person that Don blamed. He was the first person that Don said, well, I think it was that meth head thing I used to work with, because I sacked him the day before because of the mud and whatever.
Yeah.
He was the first person that Don blamed, and he was the person that got sacked the day before Summer got gone. And I think of all the names that Don's put in the frame, the recent revelations by Chris McDonough when he unredacted the names on the document, on the interview, sorry, when H said about the phone call that was made while they were in the car, that was Don saying there was someone up on the property trying to look at the little kids or whatever. Again, was that planned? Because the name that came out was Andy or Anthony or someone beginning with A, and it happens. So just so happens that the neighbour down the road has a ex-husband called Andy. And was that planned? Did they plan to drop Andy in the frame if it didn't work out with Dudley? These names are people's names that came up right back at the beginning. And all of them so far, most of them have come out and actually spoken now. But was it planned to drop these people's names into it? Was that phone call planned so that H would hear the name Andy or Anthony, or someone was up on the property touching little kids?
Well,
was it planned to fire Dudley the day before so that he wouldn't be there while they carried out their master plan? I don't know. It's my thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, people say they're not that intelligent, but I think they're more intelligent than we give them credit for. I mean, you've heard Don. He already likes to get his ducks in a row. I've got 7 alibis. Candace has got none. I think he's quite capable of trying to put somebody in the frame, setting things up to make things look a certain way. He's been in prison. He said he's been in prison for the better part of his younger years. And what do you learn in there? You learn how to manipulate people and things to get what you want. You learn how to do underhanded things to be able to get the things that you need and want. I mean, am I wrong? I don't know.
No, I think he probably learned to be a better manipulative, malignant narcissist in prison than he had his whole life on the outside.
I
It's probably a
agree.
skill that he developed. It was like, something that he learned to do, that he could manipulate people, that he could do disgusting things, and try to get away with it, in my opinion.
I mean, this Dudley guy, I mean, I'm saying poor Dudley guy. I mean, I'm told, and from what I've seen, he looks like he's been honest. I mean, I was watching his body language, and he seemed to be, for sure, to me anyway, telling the truth. But and he was saying that he worked for Donald for like 2 weeks before Summer went missing. And like you said, Kat, the day before Summer went missing. So let's just take it back a bit. Summer went missing on the Tuesday. Is that right?
Yeah.
Now, on the Monday, the day before that, Donald was sat on the toilet, when Dudley came in looking really upset. Now, for him to mention that, there must have been a reason for it. I'm sure a man like Donald, who's hardened to most things, especially to the fact, due to the fact that he's been in prison and he's had a pretty hard life, I would have thought that he isn't somebody that just bursts into tears on a regular basis. That he looked quite upset. And if that's the case, did something happen the day before? I can't say for definite that she went missing the day before, because obviously Hunter and people are saying that they saw Summer on the Tuesday. So she can't have then gone missing on the Monday. But Donald didn't go into work on the Sunday. When he came in, and he was supposed to go into work on the Sunday, then on the Monday he comes into work looking really, really upset with himself. So I don't know. What's your opinion on that, guys?
There's been a lot of things going around lately and coming out that there's speculation something happened before.
I mean, we've seen that photo where she's hunched over and she really doesn't look like she's doing too good.
I haven't seen that one. That's the one that I haven't seen. And then do we have the date on the car one?
On the which one?
The one with the milk carton. Do we have the actual date on that one?
We don't. I think the TBI have put that out as the last official picture of summer that they have, because the picture that was given for the Amber Alert was not the current picture of summer.
The one on the milk carton.
Yeah, the one that they gave for the Amber Alert was with her with the red dress and longer hair in the church. That wasn't the last official picture of summer. The TBI have put that released that video as the last official picture of summer. So I think they believe that it was actually taken on that day, the milk jug photo.
Okay.
The TBI believe it was taken on that day because they've put it out as the last official photo of summer.
Okay, I hadn't heard.
Yeah, I think it was a video, wasn't it? That people have
It was a video, yeah, and there was a photo.
It was a video.
Yeah, but that, as far as I know, and as far as I'm aware, the TBI have decided that that is the last known picture, accurate picture of summer. So they may not have said it was taken on that day, but they have put it out as a more recent photo than the one they were given from the Amber Alert. So I don't know if the TBI would have put it out if they didn't believe that it was actually taken on that day. The milk jug photo, I mean.
They don't?
They wouldn't have put it out as a official photo, the milk jug photo, if they didn't believe it was taken on that day.
Yeah, true.
The TBI would have said, here's a more recent photo of summer, but what they said was, this is the most recent video stroke photo we have, and it's of her and the milk jugs. So I guess they believe that it was taken on that day.
Yeah, and they'll have seen
they've seen the digital uploads and all of the digital forensics. They've done that. I mean, what they've learned from that is a different matter, but they've done that. So we know that that's in hand. I guess they, if they believed it wasn't taken on that day, they possibly would have come out and said, well, we know this video was uploaded around the time of her disappearance, but they've put it out as an official last photo of her. So
do you understand what Andrew's saying?
Yeah,
anyone hear about warrants coming outside of the BS?
Yeah,
I personally haven't heard about warrants coming out. There was a channel, I don't want to say the name of the channel, but there was a channel, Andrew Hiltz, that put out a conversation apparently that they had with you saying that there was warrants being issued, but I have no idea whether that was true or not. It was just something that was said on a channel.
I mean, I hope so. I mean, you'd like to think so.
Well, yeah, after all of this time, you would hope so. Have you heard anything about that, Andrew? If you've heard anything about that, we'd like to know, because it was said on a video recently that you had said to the person that made the video that there were warrants coming out really soon. So that would be interesting to know.
Yeah, Andrew Hiltz's channel is literally his name. So yeah, I mean, Don was telling Dudley to lie, and it was over mud and how many layers of mud they were putting on these walls, but it is a lie. I mean, whether that's something, I'm just looking at Andrew's message. Andrew said, it was what I heard and it turned out to be BS.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. It's actually quite helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, we like facts when we can get them. Yeah. So what else have I got here? So I don't know. I mean, I've been reading this and I'm like, this was what was said by Dudley, and he said, Don tried to tell me that he had dreams where he beats up his own kids and goes on a rampage, then goes to prison. Now, when I heard that, I thought, no, surely not. Who does that? Like, who goes to work and says to their, like me in the ambulance, crewmate, or, you know, somebody you work with, oh yeah, I have dreams about beating up my kids and going on a rampage and then ending up in prison. Like, who says that kind of stuff?
I mean, to be fair, we have kind of heard some of the shit that Don's come out with since this whole debacle began. Some of the crazy shit he says, but I don't think anyone sane says that. But then we are talking about Don here.
It's crazy. Grammy, it's Andrew Hiltz, Hilts. If he wants to drop the link, he can. But it's a picture of a panda. So if you want to look for his name, and then it's a picture of a panda.
He changed it.
Has he changed the panda? Oh, he has changed the panda. Sorry, yeah, it's this picture on the screen. Can you see?
Yeah. People gave him grief about it.
Yeah, he was getting grief over the panda because his kids picked the panda or something. And then, you know, like one creator that we won't mention was like, panda means this, panda means that. So he was like, God. So he changed it to this. So it's on the screen here. Okay, so yeah. So he was saying that. Now, yeah, not anymore, he says. He has no pandas now. I liked the panda. In fact, I think I liked the panda better than the red. What is it anyway? What is that? It looks like some kind of spider devil thing going on. What is that, Andrew? It just looks a bit odd.
Hey, Pink Phoenix, thank you
for
the super sticker.
Favourite people.
Thank you for the super sticker.
Oh, it's just appeared. It's just appeared on my screen now. I think there's a delay. Pink Phoenix, thank you. That's very kind. So okay. So I mean, we've all heard the interviews and the little things that, you know, they both said when they've been drunk and even when they've not been drunk, and how they've talked in past tense. And then he keeps saying, I'll see my daughter in the resurrection. I mean, what does that mean to you? To me, that means they're not even here anymore. They're not on this planet, because you wouldn't say that. You just wouldn't. We've got another super chat, super sticker. Oh, thank Maria. Thank you so much, Maria. That's really kind.
Hey, thank you, Chemistry Queen, for the super chat. She said, wonderful panel. Thank you, ladies. You're very welcome. Thank you so much.
I haven't got there yet. He said, I just liked the red and black. I think there must be a delay on my computer. I've got Maria.
Oh, no, not the delay again. It's not gin lag again, is it?
I think it is.
We had gin lag on one show. That caused all kinds of problems.
Oh, gosh. So you stick around, guys, because I have got a little bit of new information that nobody's picked up on yet. Chemistry Queen, wow, thank you so much. You're all so kind, guys. You all are so kind. That's really lovely. Thank you. Clicking on it, but I think there's a bit of a delay at my end here. Maybe it's because you guys are just so far away, you know?
What do you think? They're like, it has to go through cyberspace and, like, you know, pack up its astronaut costume and put on its oxygen tank and like fly to your computer. Hello.
Oh God. So I've still got Andrew's message from about 10 minutes ago on my screen, and I have clicked for those other super chats to
it's on the screen now, Emma.
To come on the screen. So
Chemistry Queen's on the screen.
I've still got Andrew's on there. So thank you, Chemistry Queen.
Your screen is up to date.
Chemistry Queen is on the
screen.
Just my end. But I mean, some of the stuff, honestly, that you hear, I mean, have you ever followed a case this crazy? I mean, we thought the Chris Watts case was crazy. This is crazier. I mean, we haven't even got to the point where we actually find out what happened to her. I mean, that's going to be a shock, I'm sure. But just given the point we're up to in the case, it's already, I think, surpassed the craziness of the Chris Watts case. I think the stuff that they've said in interviews and online, it's just, ridiculous. And then all these people coming forward, and if it was just one person saying, you know, they said this, Don said that, we'd be like, did he? But we've got multiple people on a regular basis telling us, he said this, he said that. You know, that surely not every single one of these people can just not like him. Thank you, Slink. It's very kind. I'm clicking on it, so hopefully it'll come on the screen. Thank you. So surely all these people can't be wrong, Kat?
Emma, I'm really sorry. My cat was getting jealous of the laptop and decided to try and take a nap on it. So I just had to evict him and I missed the question. I'm really sorry. Can you repeat it, please? You know what they're like. My cat's just like, no, you're not looking at that screen. You're looking at me. I'm going to sleep
They're
right
jealous
on your keyboard. Yeah, absolutely.
because
what
she's
was the question?
spending so much
doesn't
time
like
on.
all these people can't like who? What? Sorry. I'm having a blonde moment. You did make me blonde, you know.
So when I met Kat, I did her hair for her. We did some hairstyling in. She's gone from brown to blonde, and she's had a little
Peroxide
cut. Well,
kills
quite a lot.
brain cells, you know. Peroxide killed my brain cells.
Oh, funny.
But I was just saying, Kat, don't you think it's crazy the way, like, if it was just one person saying Don and Candace are a bit crazy or they're not right in the head, we'd be like, well, is that true? But all these different people, I mean, we've got Dudley, we've got, you know, everyone that I mean, there's just so many.
Oh, hey, Emma, I've seen for myself what Don and Candace are like. I really don't need anyone else to tell me. I see it for myself every time they come on YouTube. Sorry, no offense to anyone that's, you know, got their back or whatever, but they're cray. They're cray people. I'm sorry.
Listen, Amy, just butt in whenever you want. Just talk over her.
Yeah.
Still,
I'm enjoying listening to you.
I'm
but don't feel like we're like stopping you from talking.
Oh, you're fine.
So what's Candace say? We can be kind here. It's Emma's channel. Oh, yeah. I will put your pictures in the thumbnail afterwards, Kat and Amy.
Oh, thank you.
Right, so where are we? Yeah, I just made a quick thumbnail.
Anna, you're not blocked.
No, Anna, you're not blocked, sweetie. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to see your comments. So you're definitely not blocked.
Hey, Deb. Deb's in the house.
So this were crazy.
Hey, Deb.
So they went to the house, did Dudley and his wife, to pick up paychecks, I think it was. And apparently Dudley's wife was like, I didn't even realize that was a little girl, and said, get me out of here and don't ever take me back there. I think I would have been saying the same. But Candace came out screaming, these effing kids. I can't cope with these effing kids. And apparently scared this Dudley's wife to death.
Oh, yeah, it's like a banshee. It's like a banshee on heat.
Wow.
Like right now, I can't deal with these fucking kids. I'd be scared. I'd be using
Andrew.
I'm shitting in their sewers,
Andrew,
mate.
are you still in here? Because if you are, I want to know what you think of Candace. You met her. Like, is she really as scary as people say?
She's petrifying. Is she like she comes across? Are you kidding?
On these but when she's been interviewed, she's like really calm, and then she bursts into tears. But when she's on these silly interviews, she just, well, yeah, I suppose.
I would have asked her if she knew what a timeout
Ro,
was.
you need to rewind a bit.
I take timeouts all the time. And my kid's 19. I asked her if she knew what a timeout is.
She takes times out. She gets high and drunk and takes about 15 hours a day out. Candace does. She takes time out so she doesn't have to deal with her actual life.
She makes more time out than she takes time in.
Yeah.
What I thought was interesting, though, what I thought was interesting about what... Sorry, carry on. Hello? Can you hear
You're
me?
fine.
Amy?
Okay. And I was just saying what I thought was interesting about what Dudley said about going up to the house with his wife and the things that were going on up there, all of the things, screaming, and some are half naked and shaved head, and Candace swearing at the kids and all of that kind of stuff. What I thought was interesting was the contrast between how Don had explained what Dudley was like to us. Right back at the beginning, Don said that Dudley was a meth head, that he was crazy,
Yeah.
that he would come into work and he would just do crazy shit all the time. And he would be like throwing mud around or, making all these crazy statements. And that's why he sacked him. And then when we saw like the interviews with Dudley, he doesn't seem like that at all. Now, okay,
No.
maybe, if you are off your face on something, you might behave a bit strangely, but he just, to me, it didn't hit me that he was a meth head or a crackhead or
Seemed
anything.
fairly
He just came
normal.
across as a normal person. I mean,
Yeah.
normal compared to like the holler standards up there in Tennessee or whatever. But some of the actors that have come out in this case and some of the people that have come out, they batshit cray. And Dudley really, to me, I don't know, I didn't get massively bad vibes from him like I was expecting to based on what Don had said. And yet he told us what it was like when he went up there, that actually the craziness was coming from there, not necessarily from him. I don't know. What did you guys think?
Well, they're saying in the chat that they think that Dudley was telling the truth. I mean, I think he came across really well. But my last question, Andrew, is just popped back in the chat. I was just asking, you've met Candace. Is she in real life, as she comes across in these interviews, really calm and just fairly relaxed and bursting into tears every 5 minutes? Or is she coming across as like this hardened person that is like something we don't really see? Is it an act, what we see? Or, I mean, you met her. I just wondered, if you could tell us like what she's like. Anyway, you don't have to. I just thought I'd ask. So what else were we saying? But I mean, just some of the shady stuff he was doing. Like he was writing on the walls. He was throwing mud at the windows. I mean, what kind of person does that shit? Like, surely, I mean, and then all in a manner, all in a fashion to try and get this guy in trouble by the boss. And Dudley's just looking at him and shaking his head as if to say, what are you actually doing there? You're going to have to clean that off. Like, are you ridiculous?
It sounded like he was setting Dudley up in a lot of ways. He was making loads of mistakes and doing really stupid stuff. And then that's exactly what he said Dudley was doing to get him sacked, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just Andrew says, yeah, she's a pothead and I didn't like her. No, she it's just somebody's described her as scary. I think it was Dudley's wife described her as quite scary. But the Candace that we see when she's ever online is like this calm Candace, I'm so upset and crying all the time. And well, not all the time, but so I just wondered. But whenever we see her, she's either looks messed up or asleep or barely able to speak. But who knows?
Well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't not like her because she was a pothead. I think that's just my personal opinion, by the way. I'm not criticizing what Andrew said. I'm just saying that I probably wouldn't not like her because she was a pothead. I wouldn't like her because of the way she treats her kids and and the quite obvious states that she publicly gets herself into, she seems a lot more dislikable than she does likable, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Toaster Oven's in. Hi, Toaster Oven. We've got Susie.
Susie to anyone made a comment that I really agree with. That I personally agree with that comment. Emma, he was getting rid of any possible witnesses. That's exactly what I was saying earlier. That's my personal opinion. I think that all the people
the day before.
Get off. Sorry, cat issues again. They're so fat and naughty. You've met my cats, haven't you? They're literally so naughty.
Yeah, they're the biggest cats I've ever seen.
They're huge.
I think it was all planned.
They need they look like they need some salad,
Salad.
It's not because they're big, really. It's
Well,
because mine are
so skinny.
Siamese. So they're so skinny that anything other than that looks big, you know, because probably just a normal size cat, but because I've got Siameses, they look big. But anyway, I'm sure people don't want to hear me talking about my Siamese cats.
But I believe it was planned. They were setting everybody up.
Right. So where were we? Yeah, like so that that guy wouldn't be around the next day when Summer went missing,
Right.
so
How
that
convenient. They could get away with.
Yeah, how convenient that he could then slip away.
Yeah,
and that he could because otherwise Dudley would have turned around and said, yeah, otherwise he would have gone to work. He would have left to find Candace that day or come home from work early, and Dudley would have said, oh yeah, Don left early. So by getting rid of him,
that's one alibi you got rid of, Don. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. You see, there's more manipulation going on than we know. So Andrew says, I just don't like her. How do I read that?
It says, I just don't like her. Don't she is a pothead. I was saying she is one. I think what he's saying is he just doesn't like her, not because she's a pothead. He's just saying she is a pothead, but he doesn't not like her for that reason. He has a lot of other reasons not to like her. That's how I read it.
I'd love to know. I so love to know. You need to come on, Andrew, one night. He says, I'm sorry, I'm cooking dinner. What a good guy. He's cooking dinner. How many men do you know that cook dinner? Oh, that's good. Right. Okay. So, and this Dudley was then saying that Don was the biggest like crackhead. I mean, we've all seen Don's legs at the video. Doesn't look good, does it? I mean, we're all just speculating here, but who knows what goes on behind closed doors? Who knows? But I certainly, if I had to believe them both throwing shade at each other and Dudley saying, you know, Don takes this and that, and then you've got Don saying Dudley takes this and that, I think I'd be more inclined to believe Dudley over Don, to be honest, any day. Well, I just feel a bit sorry for him, really.
Listening to them. Just listening to them both. I mean, it's hard not to think that of the two, they may both be telling fibs and lies and stuff, but at the end of the day, Dudley to me comes across as way more credible than Don ever has.
Yeah,
I believe.
I mean, it would be a totally different. Sorry, Amy, I'm just saying it'd be a totally different situation if it was Dudley's child that was missing, because the way that he comes across in interviews is 100% better in my eyes than Don does any day.
Well, the fact that he's probably sober and not high at the time helps.
True. And then what do you guys reckon about this? The fact that he was apparently at work bringing his kids there, and the oldest one, he was giving him weed, and he was smoking in a house that was a job site, which was going to be sold on to these people that had spent hundreds of thousands of pounds on this lovely new house that stinks of weed. You know, like, not only that, is he giving his 11-year-old child weed? I mean, do you believe that? Because I think I do, to be honest, if I had to make a guess.
I mean, I'll let Amy speak to it, but from what I know and what I've seen of Don and Candace, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if they were giving all of their children drugs and alcohol on a regular basis. That is my opinion. That is not a stated fact. That is just what I believe.
Well, yeah, we've heard it from more than one person.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, I've never done this, God forbid, but, you know, it would be very easy to get a kid's bottle and put something in it like that in order to shut them up and make them go to sleep when you want to party. You know, you can imagine some people doing that. It's horrible to think about, but I mean, we've heard so many other things involved with this case that there's literally nothing that just wouldn't surprise me at all.
You're right. Nothing.
Like Chemistry Queen's just taking the words out of my mouth. Yeah. Sorry, go on, Amy. What do you think?
I agree, and we've heard it from more than one person.
Well, we know that Candace gave H twisted tea
Mhm.
You know, that was the first kind of red flag in that situation. Other people have said that, you know, they've seen the kids being given alcohol and whatever. So, you know,
Yeah.
if you can give a kid alcohol, then why can't you give him weed? It's just, you know, there doesn't seem to be any kind of boundaries in that whole
Yeah.
household and that whole family. So, yeah, beautiful chaos. There's no boundaries. That's exactly what I think.
And I mean, right at the beginning, Andrew even said that he admitted, didn't he, in a message on, I think it was one of these Facebook sites, that he was saying that, yes, you know, Candace did do that. And I think even Ali even said that, didn't she, and confirmed it. And, you know, that's scary. And I can see why they had the children taken off them. It just makes you wonder, though, is this a part of a bigger picture? Why haven't she been arrested for giving alcohol to minors, or is this just part of a bigger case that they're putting together? I mean, obviously, when they go to the court over the children, I'm guessing this could be something that's getting brought up that we're not being told of.
Possibly. Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like maybe the reason why Alison didn't want to come up, Ali, sorry, and come up and say, yeah, she gave H alcohol was possibly, I'm not saying, again, I'm not saying this is true, it's just my opinion. Perhaps she didn't want to say because perhaps that kind of thing happens in her household on a regular basis. And for her to have, you know, accuse or say that Candace and Don did it, perhaps that would be hypocritical of her. I don't know. I just can't think of any reason why she wouldn't have said, yes, she gave my son twisted tea, and yes, it was disgusting and wrong, and I, you know, I intend to do something about it.
She
I don't know.
denied it. She completely denied it
Well,
on the
then perhaps
interview.
there's a reason for that. I don't know Ali. I've never spoken to her. I know nothing apart from what I've seen in the
Yeah.
interviews. My assumption is that perhaps that's normal and they're in their household, and therefore she couldn't be a hypocrite and call out Candace for doing it if she'd done it herself.
I mean, we don't
I think
know, do we? I'm sure. I mean, I'd like to think Ali doesn't look like that type of mum. I
Well, to
mean,
be
compared to
honest,
Candace.
in this country, it's not illegal for a child from the age of 5 on private property under the supervision of an adult to drink alcohol. Even in a pub with a meal at the age of 14, children can drink alcohol as
Yeah,
long as they're
like
supervised
one.
by an adult and having a meal. But it just doesn't happen in America. There's so many more laws and everything against it. It's, you know,
Yeah.
completely outrageous to people in America that children of the age of 5 can have an alcoholic drink at home. So I guess that kind of outrage and laws and everything else preventing it would prevent Ali from saying if anything like that did happen. Was my
Yeah.
thoughts on it.
I almost think they all have something on each other.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm praying law enforcement is trying to create a big case. Because Harmony, the case with Harmony, they've got one of the parents and step parents already in custody. So why is it taking so long with this case?
Yep.
I
And
can
I mean,
only
what did they have?
hope I
Yeah.
can only hope they're creating a big case with this one.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the reason why they've taken them in, because I can't see how they've got any different evidence. I mean, it seems to have gone very quickly. They've arrested people very quickly, and I'm guessing it's because there's been problems with them claiming benefits that they shouldn't have done, knowing that the child wasn't there anymore. The dad just not having the child, and they haven't turned around and said, "Oh, she disappeared." Well, I don't know. I'm just talking myself around in circles, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But
So that's kind of frustrating with Summer's case because you see other ones go so fast. And then I've heard both that, yeah, they did receive benefits, but then I was told no, they didn't with Summer's case. So that's been kind of confusing too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so sad. I mean, God knows what happened to that little girl. I mean, you just don't want to think really about, well, when you think of any of these cases, it's like, oh God, you just don't want your mind to go to some of these places. Yeah, and I've seen some of the comments CPS failings and things like that. And I think we've covered CPS failings before with some of the other cases. And that's always a big part of this situation as well, because they've been on the case for a while with this. And Sherry said that when Ali and Candace fell out, this Sherry being H's grandma, that Candace wanted to make friends with Ali again. And she didn't know how to, because I don't think Ali was up for it. So what Candace was doing was she was going around to Sherry's, Ali's mum. Is it Ali's mum? Sherry Ali's mum? Ali's friend.
I'm not sure if Leslie is Ali's friend and Sherry is Hunter's grandma or Ali's grandma, one of them.
Right, one of them. But anyway, Candace was going around to Sherry's and saying, can you sort something out? Can you help me make friends with Ali again? And she was turning up at the door saying, oh, CPS is supposed to be coming today, but I'm obviously not going to be there. So she was constantly hiding from CPS when they were trying to turn up at the house. And we've heard over the last few months, various people say that they had contacted CPS regarding the Wells family and the children and the state of the house and everything. So Hunter's grandma, Alison's mom. Yeah, I thought it was Alison's mom. That's what I said initially, wasn't it? But then I was like, is it?
Yeah, it is. Sherry's the mum and Leslie's the friend, I think.
Oh, do you know, it's so nice having Andrew in here to put us straight when we start going wrong. Thank you.
There you go.
So yeah, they've had various people call CPS, which is concerning. Now, I reached out to, well, I'll tell you about that in a minute. Let's get on to this bit, which, okay, where are we? Oh, I suppose I could cover it now. So anyway, I reached out today to one of Ali's old friends, and it wasn't to do with, well, it was, I'll read it to you. I asked if she wanted to come on panel, first of all, and she didn't want to. So I asked her some questions. I said, would you be willing to answer some questions? And she said yes. So I said, okay, then, here we go. I said, I honestly think my opinion is that Candace did something that she shouldn't have been doing with H. I watched his dad's interview the other night, and he said it doesn't look good. Do you think Candace is capable of doing anything like that? I also asked, when the men came down, did Candace do anything with this Jose? I asked where H was, because we didn't know. I said, did you ever, and I asked if he was all right. I said, did you ever see Candace doing anything to the children that she shouldn't have been doing? Anything that you can imagine. And I said, was there anything about Candace that you saw or heard that you didn't like? Okay, so the answer I got was, I honestly wouldn't put anything past Candace. The part about did Candace sleep with Jose, from what I was told, Alison caught them together. And at that point, when Alison caught, this is a bit no one knows. So when Alison, who liked Jose, caught Jose and Candace together, in what sense, who knows? It was Grandis that called Don to tell him. And that's when he came home, the fight erupted, and he went to jail. Now that tells me something really interesting. That at that point, when that happened, Grandis didn't stick up for her daughter. If this is true, this changes quite a lot, because it shows that Grandis doesn't just stick up for her daughter willy-nilly. If she thinks there's something wrong, she'll do something about it. Now, it's strange because when I was talking to Grandis in those messages, she didn't come across as Don's biggest fan, which kind of makes me think that Don would be the last person that she would contact. But yet, this lady's saying that as far as she was told, Candace did do something with Jose. Alison caught them, was not impressed, and it was Grandis who called Don. So, and that would make some sense here because Grandis apparently liked Jose. Do you remember? They all liked him. Grandis liked him. Candace liked him. Ali liked him. And so we were told recently Grandis was even flirting with him. So whether Grandis got jealous when Candace was with Jose and wanted it breaking up, and maybe that's why it was Grandis that called Don to tell him, and that's why he drove back at 100 miles an hour and the fight broke out and he ended up in jail. The reason it looks like why the car was bought was because, did you notice that the car got bought right around the time that Don got out of prison after being locked up, and Candace apparently got him out. So Candace got him out and he got her a car. Interesting. Also, I was told that she said, I don't know about H, but as far as I know, he's okay. And as far as hitting the kids, I don't know, but I did state before that during a birthday party, she'd made them lay down on the hot ground after the swimming pool. And I don't know where it came from. The alley was in Jonesboro the day someone went missing. That was a load of rubbish. She was in Kingsport. I never heard that anyway. So that was a little bit of interesting.
Kat wants the link dropped.
Oh,
so Amzi can come up.
Amzi. Yeah, of course. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the chat because I was busy.
I'm sorry, I interrupted.
No, don't worry. Right, I'm dropping the chat. Dropping the link in the chat. So that was a bit of interesting information. Because like I say, they all liked Jose from what I was told. And then when Ali caught Candace doing something with the guy that she liked, Grandis then called Don and told him. So that's a bit of interesting information, guys. Don't worry, Kat. She says she can't come back up.
It's okay.
Andrew's still cooking. What are you cooking, Andrew? My God, it's taking you a while, isn't it? Have a salad. It's easier. It doesn't taste as nice. So if I've dropped the link, but that was just so interesting because at first when I heard this information, I was like, why would Grandis, call Don to dob on his wife that she's cheating when she can't stand him? So at first I was thinking, nah. But then it would make sense if Grandis liked this Jose and she wanted Candace to get off him. So that's kind of interesting.
Well,
and it also
the picture on the hill, the first time the crew was there, and it was BK and Cam and Ellie. Grandis's eyes looking at Candace. She doesn't look happy.
No, she just looks like she's in the middle of something she just doesn't want to be involved in. But yeah,
I really wonder how their relationship is truly.
Candace says Jose must be a really special guy. I don't know. Ask Andrew. Andrew knows him. We don't. But it is interesting that because that kind of changes things. Because then if Candace is willing to ring Don when Candace is doing something naughty behind his back, would she be willing to stick up for her daughter and her son-in-law if they had done something to Summer? That makes you think, would she do the right thing? Have they kept her out of it? Because yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, a lot of people are like, she's the key, she's the common denominator. She was around when Rose went missing. She was around when Summer went missing. And I get that. And I even made a video about that. But to be honest, if she's gonna call Don to tell him that there's something going on behind his back, is she the type of person that wouldn't then stick up for her own daughter? It kind of makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So what else have we got? Get back to my screen. I did drop the link for Amzi. I don't know if she's coming up. I mean, what do you think to Candace turning up at all these job sites wearing these baggy clothes that look like the 10 sizes too big for her, and like standing around with a cig in one hand and a phone in the other, trying to look like she's doing some work? I mean, is that just to keep an eye on him, or is she lonely, or what? I don't know. Hi, Amzi.
Hold on, my audio's a little off.
You okay? We can't hear you, sweetheart. I don't know if you can hear us, but there's not any sound. Let me have a little. Oh, I think I heard you then.
I'm gonna go out and come back in.
All right, darling. Right, so this Fred. Okay, so this is a bit interesting. I'm just going to go out of the chat for a minute. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to see the comments because I've just go into the photos a second. Right.
Seven Alibi says, I don't think Dawn is, or she says, I think Dawn is making sure she doesn't have a chance to spill the beans.
True.
If she's at all the work sites with him.
Yeah, true. Like keeping an eye on him. I mean, I thought it was the other way around, him keeping an eye on her. But if it's her that's done something.
Yeah, Dawn is making sure Candace doesn't spill the beans.
Yeah, that would make sense. Right, so we're moving on to this guy that Ziggy spoke to. So that the neighbor that lives just down the road. Okay, so his name was Fred. I don't know if you watch Ziggy's channel. Here comes Amzi again. Let's try this time, see if it works. Add to stream. There's a bit of a lag. Hi, Amzi.
Hello.
Can you hear us?
Hopefully
she's
you
gone
can
again.
hear me now.
Okay, so there's this guy. Is she there? Can you hear us, Amzi?
Hello. Yes, I can. Yay.
Hi. You okay? We're having a. Did you hear the?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a lag.
Message.
Hi.
Yeah, there is a little.
Yes.
Did you hear
Bit
the
of a
message
lag.
that I got from Ali's friend? It's okay. What did you think to what Grandis did when she found out about Jose?
No, I didn't hear any message.
I was just saying, I asked Ali's friend some questions, and she told me some quite interesting things about when Jose was down. She said that Candace said,
"It's okay.
Okay, don't worry."
What's Fred's name you were going to talk about?
So Fred is one of the neighbors of of Don's. He lives just down the road. I can't remember what number it is. Not that it makes too much difference. But Ziggy went to Tennessee recently. I think she was there just like after Molly came back, and she got speaking to this guy. And we don't need to discuss all the bits and bobs about the bones, but you know, it was a similar time she spoke to this guy, and apparently he had a few things to say. So I don't know whether you believe all this. Okay, this is what this guy said, and he sounded like he was being genuine enough. I mean, I don't know, but he said that at one point there was something going on the Wells property, that Don had a board that he wrote all these different prices on, and they were doing something, selling some kind of services on the property in that old building that's on the property. I think, Amzi, do you remember when you found that 110 was like over in the trees? Well, they were saying that that old shed type old house was being used for selling some kind of services that they shouldn't have been selling. And apparently, according to Fred, Don had like a list on a board of different prices. This may be a load of rubbish. I'm not saying it's fact, but I'm just telling you what this guy said. Okay, so this is what this Fred said. If you want to see the interview, go across to Ziggy's channel. But he mentioned a name, and he said that instead of the police shutting this down, there was a man. And I wish I could have got the name of this guy, but I think he was called, he had a really weird, Orville, that was it. Orville, Eldon Orville or something like that, okay? So I thought, right, I need to look into who this guy is, because apparently he came to the land. He was from the church, and he shut this down on the Wells property and said, look, this isn't happening. You need to shut this down, okay? So I thought, who is this guy? So I did some digging, okay? And this is who I found. Coming up on the screen now. This is Mr. I think it's Eldon or Elder Orville, okay? And he works as a pastor in Knoxville. Does anybody recognize him? He works in Knoxville. And according to Fred, he came to the Wells house and shut down whatever was going on, okay? So let's have a look. Here we go. He's got the same glasses. Apparently, this is the same person. He works in Knoxville usually, but occasionally comes to the Seventh-day Church. There he is. A bit older here. That's an older photo, so he's put on a bit of weight, but there he is. I think probably recognize him. And his name is Eldon Orville, with a surname of begins with a B. I wish I'd had a chance to get it, but anyway, I can find it. And so he was apparently the one that came to the church and shut down the antics that were going on. Now, my question is, why didn't they go to the police? Do churches often cover up criminal activity for the people that come to their church? Is that a thing? You know, I mean, is there no law enforcement these days for things like that? Is it just the church members go over, the pastor says this is not good, you need to shut this down, and they listen, and that's it, and nobody gets any justice? Who knows? But that's what I found, so I thought I'd show you that, see what you think.
Very interesting.
So, yeah, I mean, it's just it's a bit concerning because if this is true, we don't know if it's true, but this is what this guy said. And then I did some digging, found the guy, saw his picture and thought, I've seen him somewhere before. Oh, yes, there he is in the Wells Church. So if they're willing to cover things up for the people of their church, the congregation, what else are they willing to cover up or keep
Other things.
secret?
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying this church. I'm not saying this church is involved.
He's got a background, criminal background. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I was telling Kat at the beginning of this, and she seems to think that this guy's got a criminal background, and it's not good background. If anybody wants the name of this person and they want to do some more digging into, more information, then knock yourselves out. But his name is something like Eldon Orville. Now, I'm not saying the church is involved in any way in Summer's disappearance. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that, according to Fred, this man was the one that shut it down. Now, if that's the case, then why didn't they go to law enforcement? And why do they keep things from law enforcement? And why do they not, why do they, and if they're willing to hide things for their, for the people that attend the church, what else are they willing to? But we could do looking into this guy a little bit more. That would be interesting. But I mean, somebody said in the chat, I don't believe the Wells was selling any particular favors for people. And, who knows? I mean, we don't really know these people. We're just going on hearsay from people that have come forward with information that isn't 100% credible. But that's the whole thing with this case. None of it's been credible, has it? Well, we don't know, do we?
No.
Right, what else have I got here? So now, something here about Jodie Sue. Now, I have never interviewed Jodie Sue. I've never had a conversation with Jodie Sue. I don't know anything about Jodie Sue at all. I've watched very few interviews and things, and I don't really have an opinion as to whether she's lying or not, or whether she's telling the truth. I really don't. But according to this Fred that was interviewed by Ziggy, he said that when they were going around searching the properties when Summer initially went missing, Jodie Sue refused to have law enforcement on the property because she said there was a problem with her dogs. Her dogs wouldn't like it. And they were like, you need to help us out here. We're looking for this child. And according to Fred, she wouldn't let them on. Now, I'm sure if she came up here now, she'd be like, no, that's not the case. I did let them on, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just telling you what Fred said. So if you've got a problem with that, Jodie Sue, you need to speak to Fred because that's what he said. Not me. Okay. What else did Fred say? Yeah. Okay, so Don and Candace. I've got some screenshots for you as well in a bit. So Don and Candace. So we've already talked about H. What else did we talk about? So there has been much speculation over the last few days about sewers and places that you could hide a child that was maybe not with us anymore. If they wanted to keep them closed, where would they put them in a hurry? Obviously not in the house. Where would you put them? I mean, I'm thinking below ground is your best option because where else? So not long ago, I made a video, which I will play for you. If I can find it. It's here somewhere. Lots of land. There's a well. I think a lot of you watched it. Hi guys, this is Emma, Crime Stories Obsessed. And today we're going to be looking at 209 Ben Hill Road. Right at the end of Ben Hill Road, basically, in Rogersville, Tennessee. This property, as you can see, is one of a kind. It's about a 200-year-old in a 40-acre home, plus so much character, springs, waterfalls, etc. Oh, lovely. So let's take a look at the photos. Lots of land. There's a well. Looks like it's got a cover on it. A septic sewer. Keep going. Tell me if you recognise any of these photos, guys. And then I started showing some photos of like the houses around Ben Hill. But basically, without sharing the screen, as you possibly have all seen, I did do a video and it was showing a property literally next door. It was just up the road from their house, and it had like a big septic sewer in the grounds. And all you have to do is lift the lid and Bob's your uncle. Now, I'd be interested to know if something like that did occur, would the dogs be able to smell a child if they were actually in it's a horrible thing to think about, but it needs to be said, would the dogs that were picking up scent be able to smell her in a septic tank underground? Will they have checked the septic tanks? I mean, it's not somewhere that people particularly want to start rummaging around. And then one lady was saying that she lost, I think it was an interview I was listening on Prayer Garden of America. I'm sure it was. I was falling asleep last night and I was listening. And she said that 3 relatives of hers went down into a septic tank. They all disappeared one after the other looking for the other one. And they're just really dangerous. I think it was the toxins that just knocked them out.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a nice place.
No.
But with it smelling so bad, Radmila, would the dogs be able to pick up a scent if a child was carried and put somewhere like that? And I mean, how far did they search? Did they actually go looking down these wells, or did they just like literally open the hatch and stick the head in? I mean, it's all questions, isn't it? Without any answers.
Just, I haven't heard from TBI exactly, but it's only other people saying they have done it, but I don't know if they have or not.
Yeah. True. And I mean, I think, so I made this video, this was about 2 months ago, maybe, about 8 weeks ago. And then Mary, I've seen her name coming up in the chat. Mary was on Doug's panel like a few nights ago. And didn't she say that she'd spoken to her dad on the phone? So her dad, Donald's dad. And Donald had apparently, did Donald tell him, or was it the dad said that he felt she was down a septic tank?
I think he told, Don supposedly said that Candace threw her in the septic. Something about that. But other people are saying, why is she coming up with it now? Because it was said in August. And also, supposedly the dad has dementia.
Yeah.
So it depends how far along he is with dementia. Would his dad actually remember that? And supposedly there's different views on is he actually talking to his dad? So people are questioning that.
Well, I know he was apparently ringing his dad like nearly every day at one point. And I mean, all it would have taken is for one of them to see my video and think, oh, yeah, you know, if the granddad was, say, looking online at Summer Wells and come across my video and he just had it in his mind and said it because he's got dementia. You just don't know. I mean, I would like to think that that's something Don didn't say, but who knows? And then I don't know if Andrew Andrew's still in here. I don't know if this is a rumor, but do people remember right at the beginning when people were saying that H had said that Candace had put somewhere down a well or something like that? Or was it a message that had been put up and then got deleted? Or a well or something?
Oh, well, but that I heard that a long time ago.
Yeah, it was right at the beginning, and I don't know whether it turned out to be rubbish or what. I mean, they obviously didn't find her down a well. I think we'd have known about it by now. But it just seems, with that being said at the beginning, and then now Mary saying something similar, it's just, what else have I got here? But yeah, there's been a couple of things tonight. I don't know if you've just come in, guys, anybody. There's a few things that we've gone over that are quite new information. So you might want to rewind and have a little listen. Don had. Right, so I've got some screenshots here to show you. Oh, that's private chat. Right, so I'm not going to be in the comments just for a minute. Okay, guys, so first of all, who do you think this is? Okay.
My first thought.
Is it up on the screen? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Right, guys, who's that? First one to get it right. Although my comments aren't coming up. Right, who's that, guys? Come on, first one to get it. Who is it? Let's see.
Oh.
PG. No, it's not PG. Pam.
Yeah.
Yes. Who got it right? Miss Donna. Is that right? Miss Donna? I think Miss Donna got it. So this is Mrs. Wells, Pamela. And this is Don's ex-wife. I just came across it and I was like, I didn't know that. And when I asked Kat before, she thought it looked like Grandis.
I did too.
Like,
yeah.
No. So yeah, it's apparently Don's ex-wife. So because I could never understand what he saw in Candace, to be honest, without sounding too rude, everybody has an opinion. But then I looked at this and then kind of thought, right, okay, yeah, I see, I see now. But yeah, anyway, let's take that off the screen. Oh my gosh. Right. Anyway, moving on. Okay. So, what's this? Let's have a look. So, what we were talking about before about how apparently Don knew that Candace was with Jose and he rushed back. So he knew about that. He knew that she's cheated before. And I just think they're both at it, to be honest. So that's one of the last ones. I decided, because I don't speak to him now, but I did used to speak to him. And I asked him, like, what's going on? Like, you need to speak to Candace because I'm sure she holds the key to this. And you need to stop protecting her and start looking. I think he knows what's going on. But anyway, why is this not coming up on the screen? So I'll tell you what I said to him. I said, do you think in any way at all, Candace, where's my screenshot gone? Oh my God. Keeps diving off the screen. I do like that picture of your dog, Amy. It's so cute.
Thank you.
Right. I said, do you think in any way at all that Candace could be involved? I know it's the last thing you want to ever think about, but would it be possible? And I'm not trying to upset you in any way. My heart's good, but I'm just trying to work out what could have happened. I said, it's just weird how 2 family members could disappear in one family. So his answer to this was, she's so broken. Her heart's literally broke. She's at the edge of a mental breakdown for the loss of her daughter. Loss. She cries and begs God. She's mad. She's mad at all the BS on the satanic tube. And she's broken. Okay. What else did he say? People prod and poke at her. We're already at the end of our ropes. So basically, I'm just saying to him, like, can you not look a bit deeper? Can you not, see what's going on? Can you ask Candace? And he's like, try being in our shoes, where America's most hated. We've done our very best and loved and miss our kids with everything we have. And we would do anything for them to give them the life. I said, but I do try and look past everything and try. Try and look past everything and say to myself, Candace and Gran were both the last people to see her. Surely they saw more than they are saying. Surely. I'm sorry. I don't mean any disrespect. He said, so you're saying it's impossible for someone to sneak around the side of the house and abduct her. So he's still pushing this narrative. So to grab a 5-year-old. So I said, no, I'm not saying it's impossible. No, I'm saying as an outsider looking in, and I'm looking at every possibility. I've even spoken to the cartel, which I did speak to somebody from the cartel, but I'm not going to say who that was. And this was a while back, and I spoke to Don about it. This is when he was going on about the cartel. Mm-hmm. Anyway, he said, I promise that's exactly what's happened. Exactly. So he's promising me there that that's exactly what happened to Summer. Somebody came and grabbed her. Then he sent me this picture, which is like, it's a screenshot of the newspaper. So this came out a while ago, and it says, parents didn't hurt or kill Summer Wells, Dr. Phil says. So they'd picked up this newspaper, and he sent me it. He sent me a picture of it. I said, I bet you're pleased about that. He said, especially Candace. Yeah. So I picked a few comments today that I thought were really good. Nay Folk said, I believe that's why H went through Candace's phone the day after, when she turned up at the house. Not because he was suspicious, but because he was interested in who she was talking to. Same with asking what Don called about. When you're a 15-year-old, emotions and feelings are on superdrive. Possibly, possibly not. But I thought, interesting. Mary Thompson said, I believe Ali would be implicating herself if she answered yes, but H is on probation. Well, I don't think he is. I don't know if he's on probation. Ali was responsible for knowing where he was and what he was doing and with whom at all times. H already put her on the spot by telling that he had showed the vapes, and Candace allegedly bought him some alcohol. Also, if Ali saw Candace as unfit for her own association, she would have forbidden H to run around with her. I would question the older woman wanting the 15-year-old running around in the car with her. I mean, we don't know, do we? According to, H, they were like brother and sister, so that might be why. Anyway, we won't do any more on H. I did send at one point Dawn screenshots. I don't know if anybody saw them, but at one point Dawn, Candace was speaking to another man. Now I think it was a setup. I think it was a YouTuber. I don't really know who it was. I couldn't tell you. But I've seen the screenshots between Candace and this other man, and they were arranging to meet up and everything. So I got these screenshots off this channel. I think it was on Ziggy's channel. And I sent them to Dawn. And I'm like, do you realize that Candace is messaging another man? I mean, even if it was a setup and, it turns out that this man's never going to meet her, the thought is there and the option is there. She's obviously wanting to speak to this guy. And so I was interested to know what he felt about that. And he just did not reply to me. He just didn't want to get involved. I haven't missed any super chats or anything, have I, Amy?
I haven't seen any super chats.
No, I don't want to miss anything or anybody. I'll be rude. Okay. What else have I got here? What's this? Oh, and this is another thing now. I don't know. It's a screenshot of H's Facebook, and it says in a relationship as of the 27th of May 2020. And then, there was the silly comments underneath that Candace was sending him, like, who you in a relationship with? And she was saying, oh, that 5-finger shuffle. And there was that really naughty talk that she really shouldn't have been doing. But at the time when he uploaded that, I think they were messing about, but Candace uploaded on her Facebook at exactly the same time and date, the same thing, that she was in a relationship. And a few people were talking about that. And then, I don't know if you can see this. It's very difficult to read. But it says, I think this is H's sister. But this comes from right back at the very beginning. But it was just interesting because it's such an old one. And it says, I think she's known all along. I have credible information that Summer had I think it's Candace had purchased twisted tea for H, and she told his mom when she dropped him off that she was asleep. Do we know if she was alive and well at that point? Told TBI Saturday night, it's so blurry, that when they were swimming, she had gone underwater for close to a minute, and he went to grab her out and she was alert. Then they placed her in the car. Now, you wouldn't place somebody in the car if they could walk at 5 years of age, but hey ho, anyway, she might have wanted to be carried. But the drive home was a dog for him due to the alcohol. There is possibly the secondary drowning could have played a part. And then they've panicked. However, when Grandma Sherry asked TBI if it was a possibility of her being underwater for a while, his exact words were, secondary drowning isn't even a thought for us. So who really knows? I hope, dead or alive, they will find this baby. So I'm not sure who that's from. I think it was from his sister, one of his older sisters, but it might not have been. It wouldn't be one of the friends of the family.
And they said they put her in the car right away. Didn't H and Candace say they switched clothes because, and I could be wrong, but they switched clothes because Grandis didn't want her wet.
Yeah.
And she got cold. So that's why she was in that hot outfit on a hot day.
It doesn't really make sense, does it? Please,
No.
guys, bear in mind that I have put 0800 TBI fine there. I was supposed to change it at the beginning. In England, everything's 0800, so that's my spelling. It should be, what is it over there? 1800 TBI fined, not
Yeah.
0800.
But that's what I caught in that because, yeah.
So it's just, I think, I'd like to think that within the next few months, Amy, somebody's going to talk.
I sure hope so, because this baby needs to be found.
Oh my God, yeah. Let's take a look at her. Bless her little heart.
Oh.
But I
She
would
loves that
recommend.
puppy.
Oh, she loves, yeah. And do you know what? That puppy that Ziggy's brought home looks exactly the same, but it's brown. It's got brown rather than like black. But it looks
Aw.
just the same. It's so cute. Look at that puppy.
Oh.
So if you haven't listened to all of this stream, guys, it's definitely worth going back because we've brought out some points tonight that haven't been heard before. And they would be interesting for you to go back and have a listen to. There's a couple of things. One to do with Grandis. There was something about the church and what Donald was doing in his back garden. Somebody's asking, when is Donwell's court date? I think it's the very beginning of February. So I think it's like literally, what date are we now? Is it the 19th?
Somebody said February 7th.
Yeah, February 7th, something like that. It's like the first week in February. Because when the crew, shall we say, decided that they were going to Tennessee, I kind of thought that maybe, let me just put the link, they would go at that time, you know, when he was going to be in court. I thought they were going to turn up at that point so that they could also, you know, see him in court or see him outside. So I've sent the link. Sherry wants to come up. So what do you make of all of this, Amy?
My head's spinning.
With it all?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's cray cray.
Yes, that's a good word for it. Yes.
That's cray cray. So we lost Kat. She's been struggling with her Wi-Fi all day.
Well, I hope I was a good help.
You were. You're always a good help. Thank you. So
Anytime.
I haven't. You're sorry?
I said anytime.
Anytime. Thank you. Looks like Doug's here. There he is. Hi, Doug. I don't know if you've only just come in, Doug, or whether you've been here a while, but there was a few bits of information that are quite new. Who's this? Sherry.
Hi, Emma. Can you hear me?
Sherry, are you there,
Yes.
babe?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Emma, can you hear me?
I've got a man snoring behind me. Just every now and again, he goes. I'm like that.
Emma might not be
Please,
able to
quiet
hear
on the
me.
set, as AB says. Quiet on the set.
She has.
Oh, thank you, Mayflower.
Emma?
That's really kind. Yeah, we're just coming to the end now.
Okay.
I don't know why my banner, keeps jumping off.
I don't think Emma can
We're
hear me.
lagging a bit. We're a bit. My internet's not the best.
Oh, okay.
So, Sherry is not saying anything, so I don't know if she's actually managed to.
I can hear her.
Can you hear her?
I can.
Sherry, speak to me,
Yes,
girl.
ma'am.
Speak to me.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you?
I am fine. I just want to explain that, and I know Emma can't hear me, but if I don't know the lady on the screen. What
My
is your
name's
name?
Amy.
Amy.
Mhm.
If you can just kind of let her know what I'm saying, that'd be great.
I can hear you, Sherry.
Oh, you can hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
My husband owns a septic tank business and he does that on the side.
Oh, wow.
And so I asked him
Mm.
if Summer had been put in a septic tank, would the cadaver dogs be able to smell her?
Yeah.
And he says no, because the enzymes would start breaking things down, and
God.
there's already a terrible smell as it is. And someone in the chat at one time said that they're buried, septic tanks are buried under the ground, which they are,
Yeah.
but they have hatches on them, or
No.
like
No.
a little round where you can stick a tube down in there, because they have to be emptied. They only hold so much waste and water. So they have to be drained periodically. And sometimes it's years in between. But the cadaver dogs would not be able to smell a body in a septic.
Sink down underneath it and lay on the bottom.
Okay. He said because they're heavy, they would sink below the waist, basically.
Oh, my God. I mean, it's just a horrible thought, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
And the tank size depending on the size
Glenn.
of the house.
Okay. But anyway, I just basically wanted to come up here and let you know what he says, because he is licensed. He knows what he's talking about. And I have been on these jobs with you, and it's not anything that anybody would be happy to do. But he says that the size of the tank depends on the size of the house, and you know how many gallons it holds and all that stuff. And there is a way that, it would not be the first time that someone was put in a septic tank. And I did mention that in my first reading with Summer, but I just wanted to let you know that information from that standpoint. But
Doug was asking your husband that if they put lye down there, his comments disappeared now. I can't see it. But if they put lye down there, would that make a difference?
Yeah. Well, it just eats things away. Well, that's what lye does. It will break down
Like
particles.
quicker.
Yes, quicker. And when you own a septic tank, you are supposed to use a lye, or what is it, Glenn, that you tell people to use when you service their tanks?
You can put a little bottle of Fleischmann's yeast and 5 pounds of sugar.
Okay.
And it'll start
A
getting
pack.
enzymes broke up where it'll start running clear.
Okay.
Or clean enough you're not going to have a cap on it.
Okay.
And it's 3 to 4 years in between each clean.
Okay, he says a package of Fleischmann's yeast and a 5-pound bag of sugar does basically, it eats up the enzymes of. It starts the enzymes. Okay, Glenn, I'm sorry. It starts the enzymes that will break down waste and or anything in there.
You can throw a dead
it's just horrible thinking about it. Yeah, so you could throw a dead, like if you had a dead dog or something, you could put them down there.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to go down these places and find animals down there? Have you ever found animals?
Well, I don't think. Now, I have known of someone who fell into a septic tank, but I don't think he's ever climbed down in one. They all do have a hatch, yeah. They have because they have to be replaced. They have to be serviced, and they have to be drained.
Oh God.
It's kind of like what Chris Watts did with his little girls. With these oil tanks. They have to have an opening to service them, and they have to have a way to put things in and take things out. It's just the way it works. So, but Doug did ask me, before, and I've heard it from other people. Yeah, it's a crappy job, Doug. But I've had people ask, if you're psychic, why can't you tell me? You would know where Summer is, right? And so I took that question to Summer, and Summer says to me that she can see her house from where she is. So, I mean,
yeah, well, I've always thought she's close, because if you're going to hide somebody, you know how Don's got a side to him where he likes to be in charge. He likes to be in control. Okay. If you're going to bury somebody or do something, you're going to want them somewhere where if they're digging up or they're finding them. You need to be in control of that situation, in which case they've got to be somewhere where you're going to be able to keep track.
Right. Well,
That's
the first, when Summer was taken away from that house at first, she was taken a distance away, and that is because they knew that they were going to be searching the property and around the property. Then Summer was brought back to somewhere close to the house. I don't know exactly. She says she can see the house from where she is, and they can see where she is, to make sure that nobody messes with her or finds her. But
I believe
when
I've always believed they need to go back and do another search.
And they have searched many times, but they're not going to find her until it's time. God has a time for Summer to be found. And I think that's going to be when Dawn is arrested. Summer or Candace will break down, and that's when Summer's going to be found.
Yeah. I think she's somewhere close, and in which case, if there'd have been like earth that looked like it had been, the dogs would have smelt something. The only place I can think of, and this is why I made the video like 2 months ago, is I was looking at every option. Where could she be? And when I Google Earthed the areas, the houses all around, and then brought up realtor information, what I found was, and it's something we don't have over here, is septic tanks hanging around. And so I was interested, like, what is a septic tank? What is it? Where are they? Is it something you can remove a lid easily enough? Is it something that you would need 2 people to do? What if you put someone down there? Yeah, trigger warning, Slink. Would the dogs be able to smell in a situation where they had all the dogs there? Would they be able to smell? And you said like your husband works with the septic tanks, and he's saying you wouldn't. And I believe that, to be honest, because I can imagine that would be disgusting.
Yeah.
Well, and if they took her away and then brought her back, okay, when did they do the septic? If they did search it, because somebody said they did, have they gone back and done it again? Or did they only search it once? That would be curious to know too.
Meg says the septic was checked. So I don't know if she knows them or, she just heard that. But hopefully that is the case, and they
It
were
gets a little
checked.
confusing. There's a lot of people talking. That's why I have to mute when you're talking to me. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just kind of wondering where she.
So yeah, we've talked about that. I've said that.
They're big enough to drive.
So, okay. I'm just going to go back to this. Something else I've got information on. So this is to do with Candace and Don, and why does he keep throwing her under the bus? So we're changing the subject a little bit here, guys, because that's not a particularly nice thing to talk about anyway. But why does he keep throwing her under the bus? Right at the very beginning of this case, they were talking about what kind of substances they had in their system at the time that they were tested, right at the very beginning. And Don came on interview with the media and said, "Oh yeah, I was okay, but Candace had weed in her system." And I was like, looking at him, and I was thinking, why would you do that?
Because he
Why would
doesn't
you
want to
even
go back
say
to
that?
prison.
But why would, I mean, they already know. So they already know. They probably both have meth in the system or something like that. But he came out and he said to the media, "Oh yeah, you know, Candace had weed in her system." Why would you say that about your own wife? Like, why would you throw her under the bus like that? Like, I'm okay, but Candace had weed in her system. Like, and then at the time when it was all being spoken about H and Candace, Don sends messages to Doug about, and Doug made a video about this the other day, didn't you, Doug? Regarding Hunter, H and Candace. And why would you do that? That's throwing your wife under the bus yet again.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, oh, he's protecting his wife and, you know, and all this, and he's there for her, and I have to sit and watch her every day, really upset. But yet you're coming out to the media, telling everybody she's got weed in her system, sending people messages about how they were possibly in a relationship with a child. And it just seems to just, I don't know if it's for the drama, but if it's true, why would you throw her under the bus? And if not true, why would you cause drama? Just doesn't make any sense.
He's just deflecting. Rosemary and Time asked me, Sherry, have you asked Summer if she is at the Morrison Cemetery? I've never, no, because I didn't know anything about a Morrison Cemetery. But I do want to say thank you to Doug, because he got me thinking, you know, that I just need to ask, where is your body, you know, basically. So, but I'm going to get off of here. But, oh, my husband said that some of these septic tanks, they run 30 feet deep, and you can drive a 1-ton tank truck over it. And
what the hell?
Yeah. So
wow.
But anyway, thank you, Emma, for letting me up.
Oh,
thank you,
you
Doug,
for coming on. It's
for
always
getting
lovely
me.
to see you, Sherry. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
We've got true crime commentary in here too. Hi. Okay, Sherry. Well,
all right.
You drop down and I'll come into your live soon.
Okay,
you
thank
take care.
you. You too, honey. Bye.
Bye, darling. Bye. So there's Amy. Amy's here with me, and there's me. For now, Kat was up, but she had to leave because her Wi-Fi has been playing up today. And that was Sherry from In Sherry's Opinion. If you want to go over to her channel, if you want to put your link in the description, or if anybody's got the link for Sherry's channel, she's like a psychic as well. Oh, it's nice to see Doug. Hi, Doug. It's nice to see Doug. I haven't spoken to him properly for ages because I've not been too good. I've not been too well. And I've been going to bed quite early, so I've not been around for these lives that people are doing and what have you. Okay, so we did discuss in one of my other videos that, as far as I was aware, and from what I was told, Dawn was not supposed to be around the children. There was I can't speak right now. There was an incident. I think Molly put it out on her channel. She actually read out some of the police reports, and one of them stated that Candace had rung the police saying that Don had if it was a knife or a gun or something, and he was going to come back and do her in, basically, and she was upset. Okay, and then there was another incident where, with the one we all know about, where there was the fight with Jose, and Don got arrested for that. And as far as I'm aware, he got caught with the gun. Do you remember? Anyway, he got out. But from what I was told, he was not supposed to be around the children after those episodes. And we did cover that. I think it was on a video I made called Disobeying CPS. And that was possibly...
Which one of those did she redact? Because she wanted a restraining order and then she took it back. So
well, I don't know if she's taken them all back. I'm not sure. Okay. I think it was the latter one, the one in October, the one that involved Jose. I think that was the one.
And maybe that's why he was supposedly, bringing the microwave and stuff when CPS was coming.
That's what I think, because he wasn't supposed to be there. CPS were coming, and that's why he'd set up camp at the house, and that's why Dudley said, I think that was the case. But I mean, it's not fact. It's just
it's not fact, but that makes more sense to me about him setting up camp.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, because otherwise it'd be like, well, why would you be doing that? You're going home, aren't you, soon? Mm-hmm. And he did say to Dudley, didn't he? Or Dudley apparently told us that CPS were coming and he wasn't to be there.
Yeah,
that's what Dudley said, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So we've covered that bit. Oh yeah, and what we were talking about a minute ago about how he had thrown Candace under the bus with the weed. She's got weed in her system, and then he'd said, the other one was, I've got 7 alibis, Candace has got none. You see where I'm going with this? Like, he just constantly, over the last few months.
I had started watching Molly. And it was on Molly. And that's where he said that a lot of people were going, no, he didn't say that. Yeah, he did. He was live with Molly. I don't watch her anymore. But he did say that on there. I think it's just his character, the way he talks, the way they treat each other, and it's a game they're playing.
Yeah.
But typical husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend don't treat each other that way.
No, they certainly have a different relationship to the norm. But yeah, so that's about it. So I mean,
toxic,
as far as
that's a good word for it. Toxic relationship.
Toxic relationship with what feels like a narcissistic psychopath.
There you go.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Or sociopath, should I say. But I think we've seen 50 Shades of Dawn over the last few months, haven't we?
Exactly.
We've seen, we've seen drunk Dawn, high Dawn. We've seen angry Dawn, upset Dawn, religious Dawn. I mean, I could go on, but I won't, because I'm getting tired now. So what time is it there, guys? Where you are? Where are you in the world? I am in England, as you know. It's 11:35 at night here.
It's
so
4:35 here, but I've had a long day. So
4:35 in the afternoon. and it's like
I'm mountain
11:30
time.
at night.
Yeah.
Mountain time. I love
Yeah.
that, mountain time. I'm desperate to come over to America. So I've been before. I've been to Vegas. It was more of like a holiday.
I have not been there.
What,
Do you
Vegas?
ever come again? No, I've never been to Vegas. Ever come again, stop by me.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to do the rounds, you know, because I've met a few friends. So I'm desperate to come and see Josh, and I'd like to meet Doug, and I'd like to meet, you know, there's a few other people I'd like to just say hi to. Maria, thank you so much for the super sticker. That's really kind. Thank you very much.
I love the mountains here. I tell everybody, come see my mountains.
Do you get snow on the top?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Sounds lovely. I love this name here in the chat. We've got Not a Wells supporter.
I love it.
That's just funny. There was a couple of others that often pop into the chat. There's Wet My Planties, which makes me laugh every time. There's another one as well, but I've not seen it tonight. 3:37 in the afternoon there, Yvonne. Oh my God. Right, Dougie.
That would be...
What are you doing, Dougie? Are you coming up or are you going to bed? No, you won't be going to bed. It's about 3. It's bedtime here, but it's about 3 in the afternoon there. So we haven't got much more for you. If you've only just come in, I do recommend you going back to the beginning, because we dropped some information tonight that nobody's heard yet. That is quite interesting. I had the opportunity to speak to Ali's ex-friend, and some of the information she gave us was quite interesting. If you want to go back and watch that. I've also managed to find out some bits about one of the pastors at the church, and some of the bits and bobs that go on between families and church members, and not particularly going to the police as they should. What else? What's this? Oh,
super chat. I can't say the name. I'm sorry.
Oh, Ophelia. Okay. Thank you for the super sticker. That's really kind. So I know you haven't seen me for a while, guys, and I'm a bit all over the place tonight with this. I haven't done a live for so long. You've seen my statement that I put out. So if you haven't seen it, go across to the community section and have a look. I did put a post about why I've not been around. And then the lovely Amy that I have on panel tonight reached out to me because she's got similar things going on as I have. And it's so nice to know that I'm not the only person, because when you're not right and you don't feel good and you sat at home looking at the 4 walls thinking, oh my God, is this my life? And I feel like the only person in the world that's suffering from this. It's nice to know that I'm not the only person. So the lovely lady Amy came on tonight, so thank you.
You're welcome.
So what else is going on in the chat? Have you got any questions for me before we go, guys? Anybody want to ask me anything? I know, I'm not alone. It's really nice. You know, the family that I've built here is amazing. You're all just so lovely. And I think you all know me by now. You know that I don't just jump on here every night talking crap, you know, coming on just to say nothing, or, you know, I only come on here really when I've got something relevant to say, and or some way that I can help. And by doing that, I think you all know that that's the situation. So when I do go live, you all rush in here, and that's so nice to know that you feel that you can rely on me for the information. I don't know if you know, it's in my community section. I do have a second channel. I wouldn't call it a backup channel, as some people have. It is going to be a documentary channel, a bit like Bailey Sarian, a bit like Ellen and Neil or Josh Joshua Miles. It is going to be documentaries only in there, and I'm going to grow that channel as a documentary. So if you like documentaries, I will be releasing my first one soon. No drama, as you know, as always, not going to get involved in any of that. But that's what I'm going to do, documentary style on the other channel. It's called CSO 2.0, and that will be, I'll be doing that. This channel will remain as it is, up-to-date cases, what's going on, you know, that kind of thing. Thank you, Ace, for putting that up. I have put 0800, which is a UK number, because that's what we're so used to putting up here, and it's actually 1-800 TBI find. So thank you for that. So I will change that for next time. So that's the plans for the channel. I'm just looking to see if anybody's asked me any questions before I go to bed. Amy's tired.
Somebody asked about COVID. I've been lucky. I don't have COVID. I've never had, well, I think I had it before it was announced and I was hospitalized. I had chest pains. But since then I've had nothing. But I think they were asking you if you had
asking
COVID.
Me if I've had COVID. Yeah. I had it right at the very, very beginning. So we kind of found out about it here in the was it the February, March? And I got it right at the very beginning. But I was working, obviously, on the ambulance, and right at the very beginning, before we realised we weren't wearing masks, because it wasn't the thing. Nobody ever did until this COVID started, in which case, obviously, I'd caught it by then. And I was off work for 3 weeks with it. It wasn't good. They're saying now this third wave, guys, is actually better in regards to it doesn't affect your lungs as badly. There's not as many people going into intensive care and being ill with it as there was. It's not getting a hold of people as it was. But what it is doing is it's easier to catch. So it's more easy to catch, but yet it doesn't affect you as bad as the and it's the children that seem to be passing it around, because I don't know what it's like over there, but the kids over here, the teenagers, seem to think that life goes on as normal and nothing's happening. They don't take it seriously. So they're still all going out, enjoying themselves, having a good time. And I think they're the ones passing it around. I don't know about yours over there, but the kids over here still have not been vaccinated.
A lot of I think it's 12 and up right now. It's approved for. So.
Yeah.
Oh, 5 and under 5, they said, I guess. So.
Well, mine's 13, and I know I've signed like 2 documents saying that she can have it done, but as of yet, she's still not had it. So, yeah.
Somebody else said too, because I've heard more people say that they think they had it before it was announced here. And I had my landlord's wife thought she had it too before it was announced here.
Yeah.
Because they hospitalized me. They sent me by ambulance, did a bunch of heart tests and everything. My heart's just fine. Never figured out why I was having severe chest pains.
And my chest pains weren't too bad, but I was trying to sit around on the sofa. But as soon as I went upstairs to use the bathroom, I was coming down and I was like, you know, like feeling really short of breath. So that wasn't nice. Obviously, when your lungs are normal normally. Mystic Rogue said, should we even be considering the septic tank system theory? Does that seem probable, Emma? I mean, Mystic, I'd prefer it not to be even something that we even think about. But just because Donald's dad mentioned it the other day and was like, you know, this is what Donald told me, that she was put down a septic tank. Of course, Mary mentioned it the other day on Doug's, I think it was Doug's channel. And since then, people have been discussing it. And so we've just been discussing it tonight. And Sherry came on, and with her husband knowing a bit about it, that was quite interesting.
Yeah, I wish law enforcement wouldn't pass anything by. We checked it. Well, maybe we should check it again, because with this family, but you never know what law enforcement know either.
Yeah. We just don't.
This case, I think, I really think there's more involved, maybe, and I think we're going to be shocked when it comes out.
Yeah, I do. I'm just looking at Victoria Papish's comment. She said Pennington deleted her entire site. As far as I know, I was watching Benny's the other day, and as far as I know, something occurred with some bullying, and she's been quite ill with it. So I heard. And so maybe she's, been really upset over that and thought, right, okay, I don't really know because I've never spoken to her. But if there is bullying going on between creators, it's not nice, is it? And there's no need for it. Whether you're against the Wells or whether you're for the Wells, nobody should get bullied.
Rumpel, sorry if I'm saying it wrong, long hair, wants to know, will you reply to an email if she emails you?
Yeah, of course. It's crimestoriesobsessed@gmail.com. I'm always willing to answer emails, try and get through everybody's. Obviously, I do get quite a lot, so it might take me a few days, but, message me. It's nice to see your true crime commentary. She says, TBI, FBI, says the property and things on the property have been checked multiple times. So that's good. That's what we want to hear. But it leaves us open to speculation when we're not told a lot from TBI or FBI. And they do have to keep a lot of things close to their chest because they are building a case, aren't they? Whether it be against the Wells or whether it be against a neighbor or whether it be against somebody that we've never met. They're building a case. And so they need to keep a lot of the information private. But that just leaves us all thinking, well, what's going on and what if? And, it just leaves us all questioning. Let's just have a look at some of these comments. I think that's a good choice for her. I was experiencing health issues.
Potty? Go get him.
I do actually, Amy. I do need to go potty.
Sorry, I'm talking to my dog.
I've actually got my legs crossed right now. I'm like, oh my God.
Go get him. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Oh, True Crime with Eve. You need to go back, True Crime with Eve. If you've just come in, Evie, you need to go back. We've had some information, put some information in that nobody's heard before. So you need to go back and listen. CCTV footage is one of the topics. I wonder about them keeping close to the vest. Most times Ellie will produce it to get more clues. So I've got a question about that. These trail cams that I've heard people mention. Now, I was told that around the Wells property, they've put some of these trail cameras up or some kind of cameras. But I'm interested to know what kind of cameras were in that area prior to Summer going missing and what picked up any vehicles coming or going along Ben Hill Road, especially around the end of Ben Hill Road where they live, around about that time.
Exactly.
But that's something that they will know and no one else, which is frustrating because we just want all this information now. Now, you guys in America are so lucky compared to us because the privacy laws are so strict that we get nothing except what comes out in the media. nothing. So we don't get anything, and we're not entitled to anything. So there's no way that we can tap in somebody's name and get up anything on the internet except a load of pictures. You're limited to that and that only, any social media that they have, because you cannot bring up anybody's criminal records. That's all private. Unless they've done something bad and they've been in the media, then you'll be able to bring up the report for that on the media. But it is literally the media and media only. And it's so bad because you don't get to find out. With American cases, there's so much information that you can pull from different sources. I mean, you can even look on CCTV at the cameras in the nearby areas, you know? So, what else is going on? Sherry, I'm going live. Sherry, I'm going live tonight. Please feel free to stop by. Oh, Eve said that. So yeah, I'll go across to Eve's channel, True Crime with Eve EP. Go across and check her out. She's going to be going live in a bit. Canada is the same as Sherry says, you know, for privacy laws and things. Yeah, do you know what? I'm sure Unmasked did some interviews with Ali, and I'm sure with that David Dodson. Now, am I getting the wrong crime channel? Because I went to Unmasked earlier on and I could not find any interviews with Ali or David Dodson. So either they've made them private.
I know Dobson was done by J for J.
Oh, was it J for Justice? Okay.
Yes.
I'm not really...
I don't know about anybody else.
Yeah.
And then she tried to get him back, and he denied. He said yeah, and then he denied her. And the next thing we know, he was out with all the crew up there in Tennessee.
Interesting. Well, I went into I was watching J for Justice a few nights ago, and it's not a channel that I've really ever watched, and I was listening, and it was quite good actually. I was getting into it, and people were commenting, and Andrew Hiltz came in, H's dad, and I sent him I put a message in the chat, and I said, Andrew, you've not replied to my message, because I've been talking to Andrew for a while. And I was just saying to him, you've not replied to my message. And she shouted me out. Oh, God.
Yeah, I didn't
That's
like
terrible.
that. I've never...
Did you hear that?
I think she was having a bad day and not feeling well. But, and I'm not excusing her, but I've never seen her treat anybody just for that. Normally, it's for treating people badly. And you didn't do anything wrong. I did see that. And I felt bad. I'm like, what did you do wrong?
Well, I think she wanted him up on panel, or she wanted to get some information from him or something. And I think she felt I was stepping on her toes because it was her panel and he in the chat. So I understand that. But I wasn't trying to poach him. I was literally saying to him, you've not replied to my message, because unbeknown to anybody watching, I was already discussing. I've not ever asked him to come on. I was just talking to him about stuff, and I was just saying he's not read my message.
Yeah.
But she jumped down my throat, and I was like, oh God. So I've not been back since, because I'm a really calm person. So to have somebody jump down my throat.
Email her, because
I don't think she likes me.
There you go.
Have you had an issue with her before? Because I've never seen her jump on anybody unless you're being rude.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. I've not been rude. I thought, what have I done wrong? But I've got a feeling like I've said hi to her in chats before, and she just ignores me. So I don't know if I've done something to offend her at some point. I don't know. I don't know. But
we talk about it later.
Is annoyed with you for something. Yeah, I'd appreciate it if they'd just tell me about it so I could apologize. I'm one of those people that would be mortified if I thought I'd upset somebody in some way, you know.
That's my I wish they'd come to me instead of Yeah.
Linda said, I thought she blocked you. Yeah, I think she possibly did. I'm not really sure. Anyway, never mind. Creators like J for Justice and Unmasked, beware. Yeah, I've not been in since. I just thought, oh gosh, I'm not going to go in if I'm going to get shouted at. So that's about it, guys. I really appreciate Kat and Amy for coming on and talking to me tonight. I'm a bit of a shy one, to be honest. I'm not one of these look at me type people. And so I was a bit nervous. I had quite a lot to talk about, but I was a bit nervous about coming on and talking to you all and then seeing that there was like 850 people in the chat, 900 at one point. It was a bit daunting. So I really did appreciate Amy for coming on and talking to me. And I also appreciate the fact that you reached out to me knowing that you have a similar illness and it's somebody that I can now come to and talk to. So I really, really, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate that, Amy. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I was nervous too. I've never been on panel, but you made me feel really welcome. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. And for everybody listening, for all the mods, for doing what you do in there and, keeping the chat nice and calm. And I hope we've not had any trouble in there. I've not seen anything. But thank you for doing that for me. Thank you for everybody watching. If you want to become a member of the channel, go across to the homepage and there will be a link there for you to join. As you know, I only come on when I have information to give you. I don't come on just to sit and talk rubbish all night. Well, I try not to anyway. So there is a join button. There is going to be the second channel, which has been started, the Crime Stories Obsessed 2.0 for documentaries, if you're interested. And my Cash App, and you just need to say it's not a $, it's a £. So it's a £, Crime Stories Obsessed. If anybody wants to email me, my email address is crimestoriesobsessed@gmail.com. And just thank you to everybody for being here tonight and listening to me just talk on and on and on, and having patience with us all. So thank you. I appreciate the super chats. Anybody that's sent a super chat tonight, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it. I will start making videos a little bit more often than I have been recently. And if you want to go across to the community page, I have put a statement out on there as to why I have not made as many videos recently. So you can have a little look at that. Okay, guys. Well, thank you for being here tonight. And I will be back soon. Thank you so much. And take care, everybody. Have a good night. Bye, Amy.
Bye. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later, babe. Bye.
Bye.